Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Winds of Change. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get on Steam. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, Sovy came to us and surrendered himself so that he could get back at Halen and maybe the Triumvirate, at which point he is giving us information, which soon he'll say who is the mole among our ranks. Also, as you can see right here, Bro's alive, because they deceived the entire nation by faking a death. Except some of our guys actually did die. It wasn't the serious least, but I still feel like it's kind of weird that they're like, hey, everything worked out, yee. Except some of our reserve died. It's like, well, could have done that a bit better, but okay. So anyways, I'm wondering who it could be. Who might be the dishonest person? Well, probably isn't Shane, because he's already the dishonest person. And maybe it could be Pro, but I feel like Pro might not be the guy. If I had to pick anybody, someone that's within our ranks and stuff, I might think it might be the... I mean, there are other people like the Seers and the guy that's a scribe and the hyena and stuff like that, but I feel like they're too out of the story to actually be like, here's this person. It's like, oh, okay, we don't really have much interaction. If I had to pick anyone, well, two things. It could either be Pro doing a double agent thing, or it could be, the ex-elder, you know, the son of the elder that died because of, I don't know, reasons, him trying to save Valenorth. Who knows? But we're going to see in a few seconds. Minutes? It must be about the mole he mentioned. I tell him to quit dancing around the subject and tell me. We all nod a lot. We all had a lot of planning to do with our final attack and very little time.
Well then, do you two want to tell her? Or should I?
Two? Pro and Ulrich shuffle in silence, clearly in a state of unease. What was Sovy talking about? There was no way Ulrich and Pro were dishonest. They had served Dominik and Salus for decades. They were easily the most trustworthy.
I guess it's time. I'll go first.
Well, I can understand Pro being the double agent, but it's you? And two of them? Ulrich steps forward, taking a deep breath. Sovy watches with his signature smirk.
My allegiance is with the rebellion. I can promise you that. But that wasn't always the case. It's all in the past. Ages ago. Sovy is trying to harm our trust with ancient information, Monarch. I knew this was going to happen. He'd earn your trust with a couple of interesting facts and then attack. This is subterfuge. My past has no bearing on my current loyalty.
I mean, yeah, I think he was part of the Inquisition or whatever, but that was like a long time ago,
But
right?
I knew this secret would come out sooner or later. That's the real reason I sided with Pro to cheat the Colosseum. You'd know my loyalty was with you, no matter what.
That much was true. He had no guarantee that I'd side with Vivian. He didn't have to, in the end, but he was willing to abandon his dreams. That was proof enough of his loyalty, but I was a bit concerned.
Delaying, as always. He's scared of you, Monarch. He knows you might throw him away.
No. The Monarch would never do that. Not after what I did for our cause in Alarenthia. So go ahead, Sovy. Watch your plan crumble and fall.
I notice a weight's lifted off from my back. The blade disappears from my scabbard. Sovy's doing it again. However, much to my surprise, that's not what happens next. Ulrich sighs, in both relief and fright, as the blade appears in his hands. I take a few steps back, shocked. How in the world was this possible?
Grand Inquisitor Ulrich. That was lifetimes ago. Ancient history. He's using a dead past to try and hurt us, Monarch.
Ulrich was a Grand Inquisitor? I thought we already knew something like this, though I guess it was... because these two have a connection. He's a Grand Inquisitor, he worked for the Triumvirate, you know, all that stuff? Then he must be the defector that Sovy mentioned. All the pieces of all this are starting to fall into place.
I realized that the Triumvirate was my true enemy. That's when I decided to join the rebellion. You really thought this would work, Sovy?
I never said I was intending to hurt you. This is merely information that might help you in Balteus. Ulrich has inside knowledge, Monarch, and he can wield the blade.
I guess Hound did say that he would wield the blade if we chose the other person, I guess.
It's your choice if you let this information hurt you. But in your situation, I would be relieved to know. Now, there's no need to keep any more secrets.
So confused right now. Was Sovy helping us or trying to hurt us? I can see how he might think that Ulrich's past would harm our trust. But I can also see how sharing this information would help us out. Furthermore, the way Ulrich handled this situation was extremely professional. Under any other circumstances, he might have taken this information badly. I might have. But he's right. It's in the past, and he's gone on to prove his loyalty to me. The happenings of Alarenthia finally make full sense to me. He's securing my trust for when the secret came to light. Genius, really. I'd have to deal with him more later on, though. The conversation had the potential to explode, and I'm glad it didn't. I know Ulrich's real plan, but Pro still remains a wild card. What was he after? I turn to face him, and he takes that as a signal that it's his turn to talk. Ulrich passes the blade back to me, and I place it in the scabbard. Pro looks worried. Perhaps his secret was worse than Ulrich's.
Go on. Tell the Monarch, Pro. It's time for her to know, don't you think?
I feel like I would want to move Pro and me and Ulrich out of the room so that we could talk, just in case we wouldn't trust Sovy. He gulps before speaking.
So, I guess I'll start from the beginning. My parents abandoned me. They didn't die in the occupation like I tell everybody. I've always wanted to know one thing. Why? None of my searches gave me any useful information, so over time I grew more and more desperate. One day, the Triumvirate reached out to me.
He looks down, ashamed.
They said they knew the truth about my parents, but in exchange, they wanted me to give them information, details about the rebellion. It seemed like a harmless exchange.
Pro was the mole?
But over time, they started to ask for more and more. I gave them so many secrets, but got nothing in return. It wasn't much longer before I quit. I had enough of their lies.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be a bit smarter than to just be like, here's more and more information without, having something hammered out.
But the damage was already done, wasn't it?
What did he give?
Yeah.
What was the last thing you leaked to them, Pro?
The location of our new HQ. The tunnels. It was a good hideout, right under their noses. They'd never find it, unless somebody told them.
You stupid motherfucker. I'm shocked to my core. If Pro leaked her information, then that means...
That's right. Pro is responsible. His leak enabled us to attack you in Mazeo. All of those lives. The blood is on his hands.
No! Like I said, I quit. They lied to me. They knew nothing about my parents. All they wanted was somebody gullible enough to serve them.
It doesn't change what happened, Pro. Now, Monarch, how do you take this?
Hey, I proved my loyalty. Just like Ulrich. I put my life on the line to serve the rebellion. There was no guarantee we'd survive the Colosseum.
That much was true. I knew everything was too good to be true. The real reasons they did what they did were all self-serving. It was so that they could defend themselves as they were exposed. Without an ulterior motive like that, were they really trustworthy? Ulrich's past was easy to forgive, but what Pro did to all of us, I had no idea how to react. Sovy was fighting a war on my mind.
Look, I made up for what I did. All those lives we lost, we got them back, and more. Our Alarinthian allies will help us win this war, hands down.
I nod, acknowledging his point. I need more time to think about this. If they had secrets, did my other comrades too? I'm starting to doubt the loyalty of everyone around me. I need to stop. It's probably what Sovy wants me to do. I need to ensure everyone's loyalty before we leave to Bolteus. Ulrich was the previous Grand Inquisitor. Pro was a mole, responsible for the attack in Museo. Like, I can easily understand this thing. This thing is like, you told them where we were and you didn't warn any of us? You went, well, this is our HQ. Hopefully nobody attacks us. How was I supposed to deal with this right before the final battle? I asked Ulrich and Pro to leave me alone with Sovy. We'd get some rest and meet on the deck in the morning. One big gathering before we arrived in Museo would help. I could see the worry on their faces. I will tell them I'm not throwing them away. As they leave, the worry is still there. However, their secrets were finally out. I don't know if anybody else knew, but I guess I was enough. I'm in charge. I turn my back to Sovy and who crosses his arms.
So much dishonesty in the air, wouldn't you agree? I want you to look at your comrades and then look at me. Unlike them, I've been nothing but honest with you. I would rather have an honest enemy than a cheating friend. That's part of why I wanted to talk with you, Monarch. I know that we can be open with one another.
Shake my head, unsure of how to respond. I tell him that I need some rest, some time alone. So much has happened, all at once. I needed a break.
Very well. We're meeting on the deck come morning, then? I'll make sure to be on my best behavior. I respect you, Monarch. I always told myself that I'd serve the rightful rulers of this world. It just seemed like I was also lied to by the Triumvirate. Just like Ulrich. Just like Pro. We're victims here. All of us. I may have realized it late, but was it too late? I guess we'll see.
His attitude seems to have changed now that we're alone. And for the first time, I can sympathize with him. He's hurt and lost. Just like all of us. We're just trying to do what we believe is right. I tell him that he's free to join us and the meeting in the morning. But everybody will be told who he is. It'll be up to them to decide how they take it. If the majority of my comrades wants him gone, then we'll have to part ways in Museo.
Very well. It's only fair. Have a good rest, Monarch.
He bows to me, and as I turn to leave the cell, I make sure it's locked tight. He'd be let out in the morning. For now, I needed to be alone with my thoughts. I need to process everything. Maybe have 2 night shift people to watch him, just in case. I make my way back to my bed and quickly collapse onto it. The weight of the recent events weighs me down like a ton of bricks. At the end of the day, I didn't know who I could really trust. It's awful. Oric and Pro, two of my most trusted comrades, had dark secrets. It made me wonder just why everyone else was hiding, even Vanessa and Fortame. I mean, I feel like those two who've been with us forever, probably weren't doing any sort of shenanigans like that. When we got back to Mazeo, I needed to ensure their loyalty before we attacked Voltaeus. I couldn't embark on the biggest part of our journey with unresolved issues. Everyone needed to be in tip-top shape, not held down by anything at all. As big as Ulrich and Pro's secrets were, it's information we didn't have before. The information could use against our enemy and against Voltaeus. We're too close to our goal to fall apart due to internal politics. I drift off to sleep and make my way to the deck in the morning. It's time for everybody to know about Sovy. Then we'd have a final discussion about what comes next. We're ready to launch our attack, but what should we do? Everyone is standing here, as if they're waiting for me to arrive. Long exchanging glances with Sovy, and unease fills the air. I don't blame them for being reserved right now, not at all. They don't turn to face me, so that's when I hand the floor to Sovy. If he wanted to help us out, he had to win over my entire crew. The choice was with me, but all of their input was important. Sorry, again, yawning is caused by reading. All of us gather around in a sort of circle. This means he can easily address all of us. I'm curious what he has to say. A lot was on the line.
My name is Sovy. I am, or was, the Grand Inquisitor. I no longer serve the Triumvirate. I was betrayed by my apprentice. He sold me out, forcing my masters to place me in exile. They threw me away. Everything they ever told me was a lie. I thought they were Alestia's rightful rulers, but then I figured out that this wasn't true. The heir to the throne is the monarch. I am a victim of their tyranny, just as you are, all of you. I hope you understand.
Doesn't make exactly a strong case by being like, hey, I'm a victim too, you know. Even though I pretty much single-handedly, okay, maybe not single-handedly, but pretty much wiped out the rebellion at a pretty strong part.
I'm still at a loss. I don't really know what to do with myself. But coming here to meet with you and the monarch seemed like a good idea. Last night, I also revealed some information that could help your upcoming attack. I just need to know that I belong somewhere. Attacking the Triumvirate will involve taking down Halen. We share a common purpose, at least until he's taken care of.
Okay, so leave him to the last thing.
After that, I really don't know. I've always pledged my loyalty to the rightful ruler of Alestia. Logic would dictate that I now serve the monarch. But I don't know. The Triumvirate can throw people away at the snap of a finger, but I'm not like that. What they did was hurt me almost beyond repair. I will help you attack Voltaeus and take down Halen. You have my word.
I guess I was right that he joins your cause, maybe.
But after that, I don't know what will happen. In that sense, I am both an asset and a liability. If you want me to leave, then that's what I'll do. When we get to Mazeo, you'll never see me again. That is, unless you want my help. I can offer valuable intel. It's a gamble, For both you and me. I don't fully trust you either. But hopefully I've earned a sliver of trust with the Monarch. If she vouches for me, then hopefully you will as well. That is all. My fate is in your hands. I have nothing more to say.
It's kind of weird that he wants revenge on Halen. Like, he's a smart guy-ish. He wants revenge on Halen, but he's also like, yeah, but also Halen's a slave and can't, you know, betray the triumvirate. So it's like, I want revenge on this thing that has no choice in the matter. Cross his arms, waiting for a reply. Your comrades are all shocked and confused, save for Pro and Ulrich. Ask them to step forward, one by one, and offer their thoughts on this. For once, I have the grasp on the entire situation. This is how things should be. Like Sovy said, I was the rightful ruler. I couldn't have people being dishonest and plotting behind my back.
I honestly didn't expect this, but nothing has been normal lately. I'm willing to give Sovy a chance. I did the same thing with Grizz. His defection marked a turning point for our cause. A big one.
Fair
If he
point.
can help us out, then I think we need to accept it. And if he turns against us, then he's easily outnumbered. The potential benefits outweigh the potential risks.
This is clearly a trap. We request that you deny his assistance. He's alone now, but he won't be when we arrive in Baltius. If we give him information, he'll turn on us once we get there. Surely we aren't the only one who thinks this way. An alliance with our enemy mere days before our attack. It's too convenient. Sovy is playing us for a fool.
Oh, I did see into the thing. Very interesting to play this game without doing that, you know?
I'm with Hal on this one. We can't work with the enemy. This is the man that killed you and burned down Valinor in your vision. I know it was a trick, but the man is the same. He's a trained killer. For that reason, I can't accept his offer. Fortune, you're with me, right?
I don't know, Valessa. I think everybody deserves a second chance. We all had that moment when we turned against the Triumvirate. Why is it so hard to believe that Sovy might have that moment? He worked so closely with them. He's seen their true nature. He has more knowledge on them than anybody else in our army. It makes sense that he'd come to the same realization as us.
Well, I think Ulrich might, since he was also Grand Inquisitor.
I mean, sure, it took a while longer, but that's because he served them. When you remove the excuse of loyalty, it can become pretty clear. That's why he didn't fully realize things until they put him in exile.
Yeah, I'm with Fortem. Everybody deserves a second chance. We've all been there before. We've all made a wrong decision or two.
3.
There's no better way to make up for it than doing the right thing.
I still feel like you were a stupid motherfucker to give the Triumvirate invaluable information. The correct information. And didn't in any way hint to us that they knew exactly where we were.
Sovy isn't concerned with doing the right thing. He's a liar, plain and simple. There's no way we can trust him. He'd turn on us the moment we arrived in Balteus. That's a guarantee. Letting him close to us now would only enable him to gather information. If he knows our strategy, he can counter us with the Inquisition when we arrive. It's a death sentence, Monarch. Don't be foolish. We've come too far to risk this.
It seems like my comrades are divided, with good reason. I was hoping for something more unanimous in any given direction. It was clear that now the pressure and the final decision rested on my shoulders.
Well, Monarch?
I feel like we might get Sovy with us. Assist, at least. You know? Lucky number 7. It was a risk that I was willing to take for our cause. The information he could offer us would make us much stronger. If we got suspicious of him before the attack, we could easily outnumber him.
Very well.
takes a few steps back and rests against the edge of the boat. A few minutes later, everything is said and done. After we arrive at Museo. The docking process is short, since our pirate allies are masters of this art. Dimmick steps forward, filling in the silence that overtook all our ranks.
Well, this is it. We're ready to attack Balteus. Everything we've ever wanted is finally within our grasp. The voyage will take a day or two, so we can plan on the way. For now, we need to ensure that we leave no stone unturned. Visit with your loved ones, say your goodbyes, because this is it. Once we leave for Balteus, our fates are as good as sealed.
His words are true, but fill the air with tension. The dawn of our final battle was here, and we needed to prepare. But planning the attack was easy. Our true task was accepting our possible death. This means saying goodbye and spending a final day or two with our friends. I should use this opportunity to make sure everybody is prepared for the final battle. As the leader, it was my job to ensure that we all were up to the task, no matter what.
I don't think there's anything left to say. Finish up your business, and we'll set sail when the monarch demands it. Act under the assumption that you only have 1 or 2 days before departure. I don't want to rush anything as important as a goodbye, but every moment we waste is a moment for our enemy to prepare. I trust that we'll find a happy medium and embark without regret.
Everybody nods, and agreeing with his words. I can't believe that the time was finally here. Till now, it seemed like a dream, out of reach. But it's right in front of me. This is it. Our journey was in its final hours. I tense up with worry. We make our way off the boat, embracing what little time we had left. Yay, 10%. Multi-scenes are now available for the 6 main party members. Hal has a 4th heart-to-heart that is hidden in one of the previous areas. Oh, maybe we would take him, like, hidden, or it just wasn't there kind of thing. Like, are you talking about, Valinor or something? Hopefully that didn't mean we lost him. No, I need everybody's loyalty. Boy. Well, I guess that's a good time to call it. Wait, what happens if I click here? Just being like, oh, wait, remember that time that I was going to, back to the Triumvirate and was pissing myself? Yeah. Boy, that was so long ago, it seemed. Even though that was, let's see, the 25th. That's the 11th. Exactly 2 weeks ago. Huh. I remember being here and being like, I don't know how I feel about this game, and here being like, I'm gonna mainline it to finish it. Anyways, end of this Let's Play. So comment, because I like comments, times you like, dislike, tips, always. If you like my YouTube and like see grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the various epic grow, and please remember to spam your ammo so I control the pet population. And if you guys want to know, I haven't even posted the first video yet. We still have to finish, well, actually, we'll finish Deltarune, and then there's Shelter, which, if a new patch comes out before I finish that series, and that pushes Winds of Change back by what, 1 to 3 Let's Plays, so about 1 to 3 weeks before, and I have like 33 videos of this, not counting the ones I just did today. Anyways, until next time on a Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix, Winds of Change. I'm gonna get some foods for lunch. So thanks and see ya.